Formula One rights in the US are set to expire. I believe maybe is it even after this season? But one of the entrants coming into the market, rumored, although they've been rumored with just about everything these days, because that's just kind of how the sports world works, is Apple being one of the top contenders to come in and take those rights. Now, I don't know if this was proven, alleged, that Amazon previously had bid when ESPN won the rights, and supposedly Amazon had actually bid more for those rights. But at the time, the argument was Formula One went with ESPN because it's a full-blown media business. You're not just getting the distribution, you're also getting all the news channels. You're being included on, ESPN Plus, the app, all the other side bits that came on. The argument at the time was that discoverability of being on ESPN, the editorial media coverage you were going to get would make up for any additional fees that you would get from a rights deal. Well, now enter an Apple, and it feels like that would be a very similar problem. To your point, a stumbleability. I don't know, as American, I can just pronounce that a little bit easier, but there's a few things to unpack with this. There's the Apple perspective as to why they would potentially be interested in Formula One. There's the potential angle why Formula One may shift its opinion of going from an ESPN, a sports media home, to something more like an Apple. But at the moment, those are the rumors that Apple is interested in. There is some other background in terms of just ESPN's general interest in the rights that we can kind of talk about how that contract has played out for ESPN. But yeah, Nick, just sort of, that segue, stumbleability with Formula One.
I think I should stop using that. It really does not. Yeah. I really can't say it either, which is the most embarrassing part of it. This is an interesting topic for a few reasons. One is I got a lot of attention when I posted my thoughts on it the other day. And then I noticed that Steve McCaskill's written a piece that basically says it makes sense for them. So
yeah, I was going to bring that up. I was going to play devil's advocate. Yeah.
We should have got him to give us a bit of a mano a mano debate on it. But no, I mean, look, the lens I took on this is F1 has been so focused on driving the entertainment factor, the awareness through Drive to Survive, just creating this excitement and like trying to move into the mainstream. And it just feels like whenever you start to think about partnering with someone that has a really small, comparatively small market share and visibility and distribution channel for you, i.e. like Apple does, you're taking the decision to take the check over taking the growth of audience and fandom. And given the amount of revenue they drive through sponsorship, which they are heralded as one of the best in the world at doing that, there's a great piece of content on this actually on Sports Pro's channels around how much an average deal is worth. And I can't remember the number, but it is extraordinarily larger than anyone else who works in the global sports scene. But if you're driving revenue from hosting and from sponsorship as two of your major revenue drivers like they are, to then go with Apple, I think could have a real negative knock and negative implications for their sponsorship momentum that they've got. And they've got incredible momentum behind them. And for what price? An extra maybe 50 million, maybe 80 million US for the comparative deal that they're probably able to get from elsewhere. Is that worth it? I just don't. Maybe for F1 or Liberty Media Group in isolation, but is it for the teams? Is it for the knock-on effects to the rest of stakeholders, for that lack of visibility that they get through not only ESPN's channels, but indeed on ABC for those key events that are linear? I can't seem to make that work in my head. And it links a little bit like the comparison you had with Amazon and ESPN, but on a slightly different scale this time around.